I thought I would do a video on Dr. Mike Israetel. I've been watching him incessantly for like months now. Like when I wake up in the morning and I'm prepping in the bathroom or I'm making food to eat or whatever, I just put him on, and because he does a lot of podcasts and they're long, and I find that I get a lot of information from what he does in his podcasts, and it's kind of well aligned for with the way I think, and I learn a lot of things, and some things just kind of remind me and take me back to when I did know it and I stopped knowing it and I kind of relearned it, and I think that was very good. If you don't know who I am, my name is David, aka Fitness David, and I've been in the fitness industry for decades. So I wanted to just kind of give my reaction to some of Dr. Israetel's videos and kind of see how I found out about him and what he says and the information he gives that kind of click with my way of thinking. So the first time I heard about Dr. Israetel was through a TEDx talk.
Hey guys, thank you for having me today. I am apparently Dr. Mike Israetel, and I will be talking to you about the scientific landscape of healthy eating.
And I was like, what is his name? Dr. Ishmael? But it's a simple name, but a little confusing. There's a few letters changed, but it kind of piqued my interest. It wasn't a overly complicated TEDx talk, but because of YouTube algorithms, a lot more of his videos happened to come into my feed, and I started listening to them because the titles were interesting to what I want to do at this particular moment, and I started getting addicted pretty much. So some of the YouTube channels that came into my YouTube feed featuring Dr. Israetel were Revive Stronger. He basically does podcast with this guy in the UK. I'm gonna assume England, but let's just say UK. Renaissance Periodization. It appears to be another YouTube channel where he participates and does podcasts. I believe this YouTube channel is partly his because he always wears the t-shirt with RP. He calls it Renaissance Plus, but the title of the channel is Renaissance Periodization. And Juggernaut Training Systems. He does a lot of whiteboard videos where he goes into theory, and I find it very entertaining with his dry witty type of humor, and it catches my eye. So a lot of his videos talk about training for muscle mass or fat loss or periodization or motivation. They're very training oriented, mostly towards bodybuilding or anyone wanting to lose body fat or gain muscle mass. Here's some titles: Mesocycle Designed for Hypertrophy, Mesocycle Progressions for Hypertrophy, Best Fat Loss Rates, Training Trade-Offs, Motivation, Perfecting Your Calorie Surplus, Why a CrossFitter is So Jacked, Advanced Nutrient Timing for Special Situations. What Dr. Mike usually talks about with regards to hypertrophy is MRV and MEV, where the MRV is the minimum recovery volume and the MEV, or ME dose, is the minimum effective volume or minimum effective dose in order to stimulate hypertrophy. And I find that very interesting, the way it was set up in a clear, concise format. Now don't get me wrong, it's not hypertrophy and fat loss as the only things that he talks about. He's gotten a little personal in regards to psychology, and he gives a little sign every now and then about his own personal demons. So he's kind of real in that sense, which makes it a lot more easy to kind of connect with him and see, at least for myself, to see myself in this person, right? So it motivates me more to be able to get information from him and apply it. What I also like about his videos is that he doesn't always have to be on. He's done a lot of podcasts where he's actually on his bed completely zonked out and breathing heavily and not wanting to do it, well, at least physically, I mean, like he's kind of like out of it, and he's still doing podcasts, and it's kind of real. I kind of like that. The information's out there, and you see it's not scripted, it's coming from his mind, it's coming from his personal experience also, so that kind of makes it more enjoyable, that it's not someone putting on a show, you know what I mean? So that's good. In terms of his fatigue, you can tell when he's hyper stressed or hyper fatigued is that his eyes start blinking a lot. So it's like a nervous twitch. Like I've had that when in university, that I was overstressed. I'd have eyes that would just keep going like that, when it's just a sign that he needs to rest. That being said, it's good to see that he's real and that he will actually work and go online no matter what his condition is. So that's kind of inspiring. You see the good, the bad, the ugly, the cute, the whatever, you know what I mean? So it's a whole spectrum of what you see. It's not just a polished TED Talk. So that was good to see. So if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and like the video, comment on it, share it, and I'll make some more. I'm Fitness David.